Throughout the early 20th century, salmon formed the basis of the region's biggest fishery. As always, Alaska was the scene of the biggest runs and most intense harvests. In the early years, the fish trap helped sustain corporate domination of the salmon fishery as conglomerates like the Alaska Packers Association, the Pacific American Fisheries Corporation, and Libby McNeil Libby proved too powerful for fishermen to contend with. When traps were outlawed in Washington in 1934 and in Alaska in 1958, independent fishermen became powerful factors in the salmon business. The old cartels gave way to smaller firms that purchased their raw product from a newly empowered fishing fleet, working the inshore waters of the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. While Alaska was and is the center of the salmon harvest, the salmon business quickly became consolidated on Puget Sound. Bob Morgan entered the salmon packing industry during World War II. At first, he tried to conduct his business from the Alaskan community of Cordova. He quickly realized that financing his operations, transporting his product, and communicating with his customers required a larger venue. Seattle.
When I first went to Cordova, the Alaska Signal Corps had one telephone. I mean, you had to go uptown to talk on the phone, and it might take you an hour to get your party and communicate. So communication, transportation, and finance was the reason.
As the financial, administrative, and vessel support components of the fishing industry became consolidated in Seattle, the residents of resource-rich Alaska frequently felt diminished, as if their business partners on Puget Sound treated them like a colony. There has always been an undercurrent of tension between the Alaska and Seattle components of the fishing industry. But in reality, the two regions are completely dependent on one another. It seems fair to say that Seattle is an Alaskan fishing port.
Well, I've been in the business since 1941. I don't look at myself as a Seattleite as opposed to Alaskan. I'm part of the fishing business, and I've lived in Alaska and I've lived in Seattle.